Hello everyone, welcome to Quick Science. Today I will be teaching you about other modes of nutrition in plants. This is part 3 from the chapter Nutrition in Plants. Before getting into today's video, a quick reminder, there are already 2 videos up on the channel for the same chapter Nutrition in Plants. I highly recommend you people to watch the videos so that you will get good knowledge about nutrition in plants. I will provide the link in the description box. Please do watch those videos as well. Let's get into today's video. Today I will start with the activity 1.1. This activity is given to test the presence of starch in the leaf. This activity is also called iodine test with the leaves or starch test with the leaves. So let's see how to perform this activity. To this activity, we need to take 2 potted plants of the same kind. And 1 potted plant should be kept in the dark for 72 hours. And the other potted plant should be kept in the sunlight. Once you perform iodine test, the leaf which was under the sunlight will turn into blue-black in color. That indicates the presence of starch in the leaf. That means to say photosynthesis has taken place in that particular plant. And the plant which was kept in the dark fails to turn blue-black. This shows starch is absent in that particular plant. That means to say photosynthesis has not taken place in this particular plant. Now we shall move on to leaves of various colors. Now we have studied green leaf has a green pigment called chlorophyll which helps in photosynthesis. But you may be thinking, do colored leaves can also carry out photosynthesis? Yes, colored leaves also carry out photosynthesis. The leaves other than green color also have chlorophyll. But the other pigment just masks the green color in the colored leaf. But photosynthesis takes place in colored leaves also. You must have seen slimy green patches in ponds or in other stagnant water bodies. Stagnant water means water which is not flowing. Okay, that is called stagnant water. So these green patches in the ponds are called algae. This is algae. You must have seen such green patches in ponds, right? So this algae will be green in color. Do you know why the algae are green in color? It is because of chlorophyll. Hence, algae can also prepare their own food. So now we will understand how plants prepare their food components other than carbohydrates. Now we know carbohydrates are synthesized through the process of photosynthesis. And these carbohydrates are made up of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Plants utilize these carbon, hydrogen and oxygen to prepare other food components such as proteins and fats. But proteins have nitrogen in them. Since carbohydrate doesn't have nitrogen in them, now we will understand how plants get their nitrogen to prepare protein. Okay? We all know nitrogen is present in air in the gaseous form in abundance. Abundance means in large amount. But plants cannot absorb this nitrogen which is in the gaseous form. Now we will see how this gaseous form of nitrogen is utilized by the plants to prepare protein. Soil has certain bacteria which can convert gaseous form of nitrogen into the usable form, and this usable form of nitrogen is released into the soil. Okay, so these usable forms are then absorbed by the plants along with water. We all know water and minerals are absorbed by the roots through pipe-like structures called vessels, isn't it? Similarly, along with water, this usable form of nitrogen which is in the soil is also absorbed by the roots. You might have seen farmers adding fertilizers, isn't it? The purpose of adding fertilizers or manures into the soil is because fertilizers or manures are rich in nitrogen. Okay, that's why farmers add manures or fertilizers to the soil, so that the soil will be enriched and it increases the fertility of the soil. By this way, plants fulfill their requirements of nitrogen along with other constituents. Now we understood how plants prepare other food components such as proteins and fats other than carbohydrates. Let's proceed with other modes of nutrition in plants. There are some plants which do not have chlorophyll. They cannot synthesize their food. So now we will see how do they survive and where do they get their nutrition from. Like humans and animals, such plants will be dependent on food produced by other plants. and these plants use heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Let's look at the figure 1.5. This is Cuscuta, or it is also called as Amar bell. Here you can see yellow tubular structures which is twining around the stem or even around branches. And these plants are called Cuscuta. This Cuscuta plant doesn't have chlorophyll in it. Then how do they get their nutrition? It takes up the ready-made food which is already prepared by the plant on which it is climbing. So the plant on which it is climbing is called host. This host will prepare the food and the Cuscuta plant will take all the nutrition which is prepared by the host. So such plants are called parasites. So here Cuscuta becomes parasite. These parasites will harm the host. They take up all the nutrition which is prepared by the host plant. Have you ever heard of plants eating animals? It sounds amazing, right? There are few plants which can trap insects and digest them. Such plants may be green or of some other color. Let's look at the plant figure 1.6. This is a pitcher plant. In this pitcher plant, leaves are modified into a pitcher. Pitcher because it looks like jug. Okay, you can see here, leaf is modified into a pitcher. It just looks like a jug, isn't it? This apex of the leaf has lid-like structure which can open and close the mouth of the pitcher. And this pitcher has some hair-like structure which are pointing downwards. Okay, whenever an insect is trapped inside the pitcher, this lid will close and the digestive juices will digest the insect which is trapped inside the pitcher. Hence, by this, pitcher plant will get their nutrition from the insect. Hence, such insect-eating plants are called insectivorous plants. So, these insectivorous plants will trap the insect and it will be digested by the digestive juices which is secreted in the pitcher. So, now we understood how an insect is trapped in the pitcher and how it will be digested. It will be digested by the digestive juices which is secreted in the pitcher. Now you may be thinking, is it possible that such plants do not get all the required nutrients from the soil in which they grow? No, such insectivorous plants do not get all the nutrients from the soil in which they are growing. Here Bojo is confused. If the pitcher plant is green and carries out photosynthesis, then why does it feed on insects? Yes, I will explain you. Since the plant is green in color, photosynthesis takes place, whereas in photosynthesis, only carbohydrate is synthesized, right? The purpose of feeding on insects is to get the nitrogen part so that it can synthesize proteins and fats and other food components. Okay guys, this is it for the video. My next video will be on saprotrophs. So please stay tuned with the channel. If you like the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and subscribe to Quick Science. And hit the bell icon which is next to the subscribe button so that you will get notification whenever we upload a new video. Until then, all the best. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.